In this daily drop, I'm going to talk about the concept of paint by numbers or using checklists to get desired results in production. So let's go. All right, kids, here we are. Another episode, another day, another daily drop. And today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind and came up in conversation in one of my meetings today, which really has to do with this concept of approaching production in a paint by numbers type of way. Or by saying, if I follow this checklist, steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to get a desired result. And I'm often asked questions like, well, what equipment should I buy to do production? Or how much is it going to cost to do a 5-minute video? $500, $5,000, $50,000, $500,000. These are all things that have to do with a concept that if you approach something and do things in an exact order and the same way, that you will get the same result every single time. And I can tell you from many, many, many years of experience in production that painting by numbers, which is the concept that you have a painting and there's numbers and you fill in with a certain color and all that kind of stuff, you always get the same result. Or using a checklist and going through those steps in order is going to get you a desired result. Just ain't a thing in our business. We take the tech knowledge that we have, the craft that we've learned, and we go into a production situation, and it's never the same 2 days in a row. It just isn't. You can go into the same space with the same equipment, and something is going to happen that's going to be different. So what I mean by paint by numbers or checklist ways of doing things is that it just isn't the way we go about doing it. There's so many variables, so many scenarios that can present themselves. And what we do very oftentimes is we put on our hat to problem solve. The more you can get ready for a production ahead of time with your planning and producing and everything else, the more you can tackle those problems that come up when you're on set or on location. And I think for me personally, that's one of the main reasons that I love production. I love the collaborative aspect of it, but I love solving problems, not problems that I should have solved before production happened, but just being presented with those scenarios. We were just in Las Vegas and we came into a room which was filled with clutter, was questionably not big enough for the types of interviews we wanted to shoot, but we knew that we were going into a space like that, and we brought the appropriate equipment and the things that we needed in order to solve that problem. And I think the result, based on the size of the space that we were working in, was a really good result. So I just want to remind everybody that if you're reaching out to people and trying to get their advice on how to get a desired result, experience is going to be a big part of that. Learning your tech, your craft, how you control these things. Sure, you can go into a space and set up a key light at a certain distance, at a certain height, at a certain angle, and get pretty much the same result each and every time. Rembrandt lighting, split key, whatever it's going to be. But it's everything else in the environment and all the things that present themselves. Maybe the weather's slightly different outside. Maybe something got moved around. There's just all of these things that when you think you got it licked, surprise. So don't paint by numbers. Don't think that if you're going to go through a checklist of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that that's going to give you the result. Oftentimes, you're going to have to do 1 and 2, then 5, then a number that's not even on the list, and then go back to something else to get the result that you have in your mind or the client has in their mind. That's my advice. And just keep learning. Tech, craft, doing this stuff. It's part of the fun of what we do for a living. All right, don't forget to and 2. And I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.